Okay, guys, so let's add to what we discussed last time about the unit circle. And remember that these relationships hold true, okay? And these are the problems we want to get through this time. So, what's the goal? We want to find values of theta where theta is between 0 and 360. So we're thinking degrees, and we have all of these degrees here in terms of locations. So look at part A. Sine of theta equals square root of 3 over 2. The goal is to find theta, find the value or values of theta. The goal is to solve. These are equations. Solve for theta. How? Well, here's one way of doing this. So theta is a location, but there are many locations. I don't know where to go, but we know this much. We want sine to be this number. Now, what's sine again? Remind yourself that a sine is the y-coordinate. So I need you to go somewhere so that the y-coordinate is square root of 3 over 2. Where on this map? Where do I go so that my y-coordinate is square root of 3 over 2? So look everywhere. Look at all of your y-coordinates, all of them. And you tell me where the y-coordinate is square root of 3 over 2. Okay? So, by observation, we see that this location is good, and this one is no good because it's negative. This one is no good because it's negative. So this one is good, but also this one. And I think that's the only place that works. So you have to tell them what theta is. So what degree is this locations? 120 and 60. Okay? So for example A, theta equals 60 degrees and theta equals 120. Done. Okay? Let's try part B. A little faster this time. Where do I go so that cosine is negative a half? Well, what's cosine? Cosine is the x-coordinate. So where on the picture do you see an x-coordinate of negative 1/2? Well, look at all your locations. Look at all your x-coordinates. Where are x-coordinates negative 1/2? Here is one. Is there another? Here's another. What are these locations? 120 and 240, is it? Yeah, so we have 120 and 240. Done. That's it. Because these answers are between 0 and 360. They are within one revolution. We are not making multiple turns. It's within one spin. One more. Tangent of theta equals negative 1. Remind yourself, how do you build tangent? Tangent is y over x. Y-coordinate divided by x-coordinate. So where in the world do you go so that y-coordinate divided by x-coordinate is negative 1? Well, is it here? Is it there? Is it there? Where? Well, let's see. This divided by that. What's 0 divided by 1? It's not negative 1. This divided by this. Is that negative 1? No. What about this divided by that? This divided by this is 1. But I want what kind of 1? A negative 1. So, if you observe further, if you test these locations, you'll see that this location is good because this divided by that is negative 1. Also, this one's no good because they're both negative. And if you divide them, it's positive. This one works as well because this divided by this would be negative 1. So we have 135 and 315. Notice that for these exercises that we did, they all had 2 answers. That's not always the case. Sometimes you have 1 answer, sometimes 2, sometimes a lot more than 2. So we'll take this case by case. So these are the problems that we'll do next time in class together.